Hi, this is Becky Benner Carr with Bubble Scribe, and I am here to discuss pin challenge number 1, and we are going to use triangles with spaces. So we did one without spaces, so you can see the difference here. And one thing I learned when doing this one is that you need to use repositionable tape. It is good to have a ruler out. You need a lot of patience, so take a deep breath. And you need contrasting colors. So what I am showing you here for contrasting colors is the red side and then sort of this white. Okay, so it's a big difference there, whereas this one had all white background, so you really can't tell the pattern of the triangles. So double-sided paper, you need a base or a page, and you need some scrap cardstock for your punch. I am using the ornament punch for mine, for this one. So let's get started. All right, you also need a 12-inch trimmer. And our first cut, we are going to do 2 3/4 all the way down to 12. If you want, you can stop and you'll have a small scrap at the end here. For simplicity's sake, I'm just going to cut all the way down so I don't have to do the math. All right, so straight cut there. And another straight cut at 2 3/4. All right, now here, there are several ways you can do this because this paper is non-directional. So I can turn it this way, I can turn it this way, it really doesn't matter. Whereas this one, here's one of my scraps, you'll notice that the presents are one way. So if you hold it this way, it looks great. If you hold it this way, it looks kind of funky because they're sideways. So just something to keep in mind. Another example are these Christmas trees. You know, one way it looks great, but if you turn it on the side, it's all right, but it doesn't look as pleasing, I guess. So keep that in mind. Check out the directions on the blog if you are using directional paper, because this one I am just doing another straight 2 3/4. And then I have scrap, which I will probably need for my mistakes. All right, so this one, I'm just going to keep it simple. And we are going to do 2 3/4 squares. So we need another one. And I am going to have to pop the arm out of the trimmer to go to 5 3/4. So the edge of the trimmer is 5 1/2 roughly. Just another quarter. And again, scrap might be cute for a banner. It is completely up to you what to do that. So you have 3 pieces there. Same thing with this one. I'm going to start with 5 3/4. Go down to 2 3/4. Another square of 2 3/4. And this is just going to give us the lines in between the triangles and scrap. So I got 3 pieces out of this. This one I am just going to do 2 pieces. So this is the top and the bottom section here. The others were sides. So 5 3/4. 5 3/4. and scrap. All right. So next, I should have separated them better. I want my squares. So with these 4 squares, we are going to create X's to get 4 triangles. The way I do this is I'm going to line it up on the 45-degree mark. Because they are equal sides, they are right triangles, using my math knowledge there. So I use the cutting line, but I'm also going to check with my guides to make sure that I am cutting the corners. So it is a straight cut all the way through. So there's 1, and I'm going to do the same thing to split it in half. So there's 2. Oops. All right, so there are 4. So I have my 4 triangles. So these will go on the edges. And now you do the same thing with the next red one. Okay, notice I say red. I'm gonna flip these up because I need 2 blue or 2 lighter colors. All right, so now we have our corners. And I'm just going to keep cutting so I can put my trimmer away. So for this, we are going corner to corner to create an X. We are not going to do it along the 45-degree line. So line up your corners on your cutting line. And I probably did this wrong because I should have stopped to make that X. Let's see how I do. So here you have to make sure that your rectangle stays together so your cut is even. So that you get this nice shape. If it doesn't work out, remember we are going to have some space in between with this one, so it will look nice as you fudge it a little bit, I would say. So let's try it. And I am going to stop cutting roughly, I'm going to say a third of the way through. Just move it down and then cut the rest. I'm going to use my guide down here. Wow, that was off. And that's going to be off. All right, so cut, stop by lifting up, move down a little bit, cut the rest. So here my triangle, my rectangle is still together. So you will need scissors. Much easier to move around. So there I have 2 pieces, and I just need to have that little guide there to cut that. Okay. And I'm going to put down my base. So for this one, I am just using cardstock because I'm not quite sure where this page is going into my book yet. Not quite up to Christmas, but we'll get there. All right, so for this, what you have to keep in mind is that you do want some space. And we are basically dividing up your cardstock or your base into 3 quadrants: your left, your right, and your center. Top, bottom, center. And I am going to put my repositionable tape mat down. I want my light on the inside and my dark red up top. So I'm going to start with the top. So I want to put the paper on the light. That way. 1/8 of the inch in. So I'm putting my longer sides on the edges. So I want the light. So I'm putting a repositionable on the red, longer side on the edges. I'm going to put this move things around here. And it does not have to be exact. All right. 3 down to 3. And the light. I actually want to lift that one up so it's at the quarter. And there we go. And I'm just going to continue going down. And now you can embellish, put stickers there. Again, I use the punch and I'm going to get my permanent. And I am just going to put that on here. And to show you this punch, again, I'm just using scrap. I turn it upside down because I just want the big part. I have other decorations, I guess we'll call them. You do get quite a bit out of that. I'm just gonna throw that in my scrap because I have these white ones. Using my repositionable, I'm going to do the swirly across. And just because cutting the white or the circles is easier. 8 circles, you want half. Cut right there. As my children call it, the snippos. So very quick, easy decoration. Thanks for watching, and I hope you like the page you create.